Check out the Soviet trolley bus. This place seems to have lots of Soviet relics in it. G'day from the city of Samara. We've headed down along the Volga River. We've ended up where the Samara River and the Volga meet up in Samara City. So today, on the second day of this trip, we're going to explore the city of Samara. So stay with me and let's check the city out and see what it has to offer. Check out this old wooden house. It's right in the city centre of Samara. And just walking along, I've just noticed some more old wooden buildings. There would have been houses. It's a bit of a slanting house. Okay, we're getting really close to the Volga River now. And there's this park here which they call the Garden of Culture. And you can see the fountain season is definitely over here. And it's only about 2 degrees at the most today. It's very cold, and the closer I get to the Volga, it gets colder and colder. And here's a Soviet-style monument coming up ahead. There's actually no plaque on that to say what the purpose of the monument is, but Soviet nonetheless. So you can see here in the park all the late autumn colours. All the hedges have red and green and oranges. Some trees are still green while others are yellow and orange. And here we are, arriving to the shores of the River Volga. And here we have a beach. Although it's not really beach weather today. And right here I've come across the Zhiguli beer factory. It was built in the late 1800s. And I'm actually walking on the road here. You can see it's a really old building. Goes all the way down to the other end. Now the Zhiguli beer factory was commissioned in 1881. So this brewery has been here for quite a few hundred years, and it's probably one of the oldest beer factories in Russia today. And here is a dude offering to serve me some beer. Don't mind if I do. You can see the big tanks where they probably store different brews. And this is more of the factory over here. Just walking past this I can see a little window, and there's a fountain with little Soviet boys jumping into the water, surrounded by swans or geese. Over here you can see the stacks from the factory. Now Zhiguli beer is probably the second favourite beer for the Russian gopniks. First is Baltica, usually Baltica number 7. But Zhiguli is definitely number 2. I'm just walking along. I'm almost at a big monument here. I've come across a Soviet mosaic. Over there you can see, probably, I'm not sure, dedication to the space program, the workers, the army, nurses, and more workers. And up there you got the hammer and sickle. And further around the corner, it wraps the facade of the building. You can see the dedication to a worker and the Red Army. Okay, here we've come up to the Park of Glory, and at the top there is the Monument to Glory. And as I get closer, I'm going to have to climb all these stairs to get all the way to the top. And over here to my left, as I'm walking up the stairs, running out of breath, you can see the mighty Volga. Here we have some monuments, and in mosaic type of format or tiles they've put the George's ribbon. And over here we have what's called the High Grieving of the Motherland, and you can see there it has an eternal flame with the Soviet star, and people come to lay carnations. Here we have a wall of honour to those who served in World War II, or the Great Patriotic War. The names of those who fought for the motherland. As you can see here, there is multiples of the same name, probably brothers, father and son. Popov, Mihail and Nikolai, both brothers or father and son. 3 from the Ivanov family. Surrounding the monuments are parks of tranquility. Here you can sit and swing, and just up ahead there is the circus building, and over here is the Temple of George the Victorious. What could be better than this? I'm waiting for a Soviet tram in front of a Soviet building. So we're going to grab one now. We're going to go to another location in Samara.
Следующая остановка Улица Арцебушевская.
Уважаемые пассажиры, в соответствии с требованиями транспортной безопасности в общественном транспорте запрещено провозить огнестрельное и холодное оружие, взрывчатые вещества, предметы и вещества, содержащие опасные радиоактивные, химические и биологические агенты, изделия конструктивных комплекс оружия, а также способные применяться при совершении актов незаконного вмешательства. При обнаружении бесхозных вещей не прикасайтесь к ним и незамедлительно.
Like riding on a ride at Disneyland. It's very bumpy and shaky at times. Alright, it's time to jump off this fun ride and we'll keep exploring the city. Goodbye, Soviet tram. So I'll just try to get into the Stalin's bunker here, and apparently it's only with a tour group, which would be quite boring to put on video, considering I'd have to probably translate every single word they say, and usually tours, you don't get a lot of freedom, so you just got to follow the group and you can't sort of go off on your own, which makes it very boring, the video. Anyway, we'll move on with exploring Samara. Check out this bas relief here. It's on the Soviet theatre, Dom for Actors. I've just come across this street in the centre of Samara, which is full of historical houses. Over here you can see like a cyan colour one, a blue one, and a green one, another green one. All these over here. These two are museums. And one of them, I was reading on a sign back behind me further, is supposed to be the historical house of Vladimir Lenin. I'm just going to find which one it is so I can show you guys. And that's this house here. It's Dom Musée V.I. Lerner. It's cool. This is where Vladimir Lenin would have once lived. I can't remember where he was born, but it may have been Samara. He lived as a child. I can't remember. Anyway, you can see still lining all the street. All these beautiful old wooden houses, and then the more newer buildings behind them. This is quite funny. Stifler's Mum Bar. Looks like after the American Pie movie franchise was finished, Stifler's mum has moved to Russia, to Samara. I was just walking down the street, I looked up, and here's a Soviet mosaic. Don't know how well you can see it, I'll try and get a better view. Here you can see women in swimming costumes. It looks like they're swimming in the ocean or in the Volga River. Seems like Samara is holding on to its Soviet heritage. Just up from the mosaic I just saw, I'm looking across the street and there's this big Soviet central universal shops or stores called Samara. Inside you can buy things like SIM cards for your telephone and all different sorts of goods, clothes, shoes, anything that you want. There'll be electrical goods in there, all sorts of Soviet style shops. Visiting Samara wouldn't be complete without visiting Revolution Square. Here has been housed the Samara newspaper, district court and many other organisations. And here in the centre of the square is our old mate Vladimir Lenin. Okay, I'm going to end the video here at Revolution Square here in Samara. This is the end of my visit. I'm only here for the one day, and so I'll be going to the next location along the Volga, and I'll be arriving there tomorrow. And so thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.